Happy Easter. No shit. And guess what? We've already got people signing up for Christmas seminar. No fucking way. I love it. I don't know. I'm so happy. I don't know whether to shit or go blind. Already signing up because my mother would be thrilled. But my wife is thrilled beyond belief. Thrilled beyond belief. She says, seminar, Christmas? What are they talking about? I thought I already told Dan that I forget where we're going. And so, but we got people calling up, wanting to book their space. Well, maybe the world's not as big a cunt as I thought they were. But a happy Easter. This Easter is special for a couple of reasons. Notwithstanding, but it's Easter. If you in most religions, Easter Sunday means something. But a year ago today, I want to thank you, Brian Rose, because you put me up against the big man by viewing my first interview with you on Easter Sunday, a year ago today. And most people said, "Oh, you can't." Just like again when I went up against Jaguar. "Oh, you shouldn't do that. Nobody's going to watch it," But it was a big success, and it's still rated as one of the bigger successes that Brian's had on London Real. So I know lots happened in the last year. And in the spirit of candor and brotherly love, what I've accomplished in the last year is how I measure your accomplishments. So vis-a-vis the opportunity that I got and the opportunity that you'll have a year from when you leave here in a couple of days, that's how I measure your accomplishments. And so far in the last 22 years, there's only been people that came through the seminar that accomplished, just in the past year, forget all the money I made and all the deals, that have done better than I did in the last year. Only two, vis-a-vis, not numbers, but vis-a-vis accomplishments, goals, etc. But that's how I measure you, and if I'm not 70 yet, but at almost 70, if I can still do this stuff, supposedly being retired, you young kids that are allegedly, ostensibly, theoretically doing this full time, and you're really serious about it, you should be able to do at least that much, if not more. But it gets down to, is it really important to you, and is this really what you want? I had a slide yesterday, just after lunch. How does this apply to me, and how do I take action? And that really should be the first slide. How does this apply to me, and how do I take action? But we do a lot of preliminary stuff to give you an idea of why you are where you are. And so far in the interviewing process. And I've still got a number of you to talk to in the private time, as we call it. The one seemingly well-educated of you, professional, I like that term, was saying that he didn't realize how low on the continuum or totem pole he was vis-a-vis high performance, even though he was in a what would be considered a high-performance job with a high-performance company. And you may have thought, well, maybe I could have done better. Why has my brother or sister done better? Or why is the guy that I went to school done better? And you might have asked yourself those questions. But here, we hammer it, the reason that you haven't done better. And as opposed to telling you, oh, you can do anything you want to in life. You can do this, you can do that, like the horse shit that your parents told you. I also got some, I won't call it a hate email, but I got an email from some fucking idiot that somehow took what I've said so far on YouTube and surmised that beating 3 or 4-year-old kids is good. Now, and you sent me that email, Kat, and she said, how would you like to respond? The first answer was, tell him to go fuck him and his mother both. But I didn't then. I just said no comment. Now, how can you make that a real leap? Now, see, people can make quantum leaps in poor judgment They do it every day. But the beaten 3- and 4-year-olds is not what I said, not what I implied. And if somebody got that from my comments, I can already tell where they are in life. Absolutely. I already know where they are in life. But that's how we think. Not we. When I say we, I mean collectively as a race. What did you think of the film last night? What's the word? We had 1 or 2 or 3 words to describe Steve. Okay, energy, passion, a couple others, right? What word would you use to describe Klaus?
Intelligent.
Articulate.
Presidential.
Diplomatic.
He's all those. He's the Henry Kissinger. You know? He is, to the best of my knowledge, well, I know he's a presidential appointee. Obama appointed him to something. I forget what it was. I'm sorry, Klaus, I should know what it is, but I don't remember what it is. And he's all those things. I don't know how he sounds in German, how articulate he is in German. And I don't know because the Germans are pretty biased about where you come from and your accent and stuff like that. But his English is impeccable now especially. It didn't used to be impeccable 15 years ago. But it's impeccable. I mean, he's a fine ambassador for whoever he's in business with. And I'm sure that's why President Obama picked him. And he's done well. He's done exceedingly well. But it shows that you can use this stuff in the corporate world. But if he were standing here before you and you asked him that question, he'd say it's hard to implement in the corporate world. Because you've got other people to answer to, you've got bureaucracy, etc. But he's a good, well, he's not a kid, he's 55, he'll be 55, I think. He's born in 58, so how old did that make him? He'll be 56? 57. He'll be 57 in November. And kiddingly, his wife's smarter than he is. Not kiddingly, for real. And he would attest to that too. His wife is smarter than he is, which is always the point of a conversation and little jousting between us. He's a good guy. He's a good guy, and I'm proud to have mentored him and seen the success that he's achieved. And when I see him with the premier or whatever of China and that kind of stuff, it makes me feel good. But no less good than Mikey the Pizza Boy, no less good than a number of my other mentees that have achieved stuff. But he is a well-educated guy, although he came from nothing. His dad died when he was 8. He learned how to speak English on Radio Free Europe, etc., etc. But he's certainly not from the barrio of East LA. Although some Bavarians might think Bremen is the barrio of Germany. But yeah, all those words that you use to describe him are true. Now, last night I gave you a deal to read on fear, and it's that word, long word, it starts with a K. Fear is self-induced. I mean, I can't make you afraid. You have to make yourself afraid. I can't make you perspire and sweat. Only you can. Although some people that have attended the seminar say, I can make you sweat. I can make you anxious. But it's not what happens to you in life, and this is one of the things that my children have had difficulty understanding. It's not what happens to you in life, it's how you interpret what happens to you in life. And so if I call you a meaningless cunt and I get in your face and you start to sweat and cry, it's because how you're interpreting what I'm telling you. and based on your accumulated experience dating back, some say, to the second trimester. I don't know about that, but certainly from when you're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, that your mom or whoever raised you has dealt with you. Some of your cases, we've talked about your parents, and when I talk about your parents being the cause or the lack there, the cause because they were there or the cause because they weren't there, of virtually all your challenges in life, a few of you have just validated that by telling me what your background was, that you didn't put on the forms. See, it's the information you didn't give me that I try to get out when we talk. Because that's the stuff, if you can write about it, it's fairly cathartic. But if you can't write about it, or you didn't write about it, or you thought that the questions, this probably isn't germane to the question that Dan asked, but then when I ask you when we're in person, it fills in the blanks. And but so far, notwithstanding that one guy from a couple seminars ago that said that none of those things ever happened to me, Dan, nobody ever yelled at me, nobody ever bullied me, nobody ever this, nobody that. And then when we got into my office, he's sobbing about all the shit that he went through. But so far, you, not that I need any validation from you guys, but so far you have validated my experience, both my own personal experience and the experience of, thousands of you kids that have gone through the tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands that have gone through the QLA without me. Again, I got some emails, and I want to emphasize it again. A couple things. Number one, I'm not telling you not to read anything. I'm just telling you can do whatever the fuck you want, really. But I'm saying I wouldn't waste my time reading personal development and that kind of stuff. It's a waste of fucking time. If the person that is writing the article, the blog, and I forget to mention blogs because there's all kinds of stuff now that people write, is not where you want to be today, based on earning, if that's what you want to do, creating wealth and earning money through hard labor, internet, or bricks and mortar, not putting asses on seminar seats, MP3s, and podcasts, etc. If they're not, then I don't know why the fuck you read it. If you want some intellectual stimulation, I'm sure Henry can give you a list of books that guys from Oxford read in their spare time that are not personal development, or one of my other partners, Cambridge Clive, can give you a list of books that they read at Cambridge, and I've got certainly Harvard mentees if you want some intellectual stimulation. But, and again, I read, I've read Tolstoy and Shakespeare and stuff like that. But for relaxation or for whatever reason I've done it, but I certainly haven't read, other than the few books that I've mentioned, personal development type, like Think and Grow Rich, Release Your Brakes. And so I'm not telling you not to read. I'm telling you you shouldn't waste your time, because you're doing that again to fill in time instead of taking action. That's why you do it. That's why you do it. Part of the drill, and one of the questions I ask in your weekly report that you're going to start giving me pretty soon, is how much time did you spend reviewing QLA material? I recommend, and when Dan recommends, that means listen to me, shithead, at least 30 minutes a day, either now, more recently, podcasts, read my newsletters, read part of my book, and we've got a couple of zealots, a few zealots that carry, when I see you carrying the book around, they carry it around like a Bible. Well, it looks like a Bible. You have your, can I borrow your copy? Excuse me. It looks well used. Good. It looks like kind of like a Bible, because I'm telling you what the fucking Lord knows in this thing, and on Easter, I'm waiting for the lightning bolt to come down and slam me in the head, because that is for what you want to do, the Bible. Okay, happy Easter, YouTubers. We'll see you after lunch. Thank you very much.